Would like to invite Mr. Ravi Patruni, CTO CES Neo Silica India LLP. The topic will be full stack cybersecurity for utility seal renewable energy plants. Sir, can we have you on stage?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining this session. I am Ravi Patruni, CTO of CS Neo Silica. We are into providing field-to-cloud monitoring and management systems, all the way right from the field hardware up to the networking and the solution software in the cloud or in the local servers. And we do this for mainly for renewable energy plants, like wind, solar, hybrid plants with battery, without storage, so all kinds of combinations. And today's topic is the cybersecurity for these RE assets. This topic, this is becoming an increasingly critical component. All the networking, the IT and operation technology components for monitoring and management of these RE plants. So they're all vulnerable to the attacks, cybersecurity attacks, and it is possible that either the plant controls or data may be compromised unless we take care of the cybersecurity right from the ground up, right from all the devices that are there in the field, up to the networks and also up to the enterprise software and data. So I will cover this aspect today. I will go through a brief overview of our company, and then the cybersecurity frameworks and the standards, and the most common vulnerabilities and attacks that may happen in particularly RE plants, RE assets, how to address them, and finally, the solution stacks, the products and solutions and services that we offer at CS Neo Silica for taking care of cybersecurity. CS Neo Silica, we are a US-based company with operations locations in US, India, Canada, and also Europe. The group is about $50 million group with more than 1,000 employees. And our main focus is we have developed a NEOS, that is our digital energy platform, which includes right from the field hardware, field IoT systems, the network systems, as well as the enterprise softwares. So the complete IT and OT systems integrated for providing the performance monitoring, controls, and sustainability and profitability for the RE assets. Okay. And we have, our systems are running across more than 100 installations in more than 100 RE plants and installations for almost 10 years now. And we are one of the first to introduce industrial IoT and also the complete secure solutions all the way from the field to the ground, field to the cloud. Yeah. Coming to the cybersecurity frameworks, this is the NIST framework. This is based on 5 strategic pillars. First thing to solve address the cybersecurity for any organization is to identify all the security risks to the systems, to the assets, and also the data and capabilities, because any kind of an attack can have a devastating effect including the shutdown of the operations. So after identifying these risks, so you devise ways to protect your systems and data. And so you have all the protections, all the mechanisms in place. But when an attack happens, unless you have a proper monitoring system and management system, you may not even know that a breach has happened, because these are all electronic things. I mean, happen on the cloud, happen on the through the networks. You may not realize. So you need to have a ways to monitor and detect if there is a breach that has happened. And once there is an attack, the immediate first thing is you should have ways to respond to minimize the damage. Right? So otherwise, it can be a long term, and your asset may be down for a much longer periods. So you need to have ways to first minimize the damage, and then completely recover and restore. If you have lost data or lost any of the key assets or performance, you need to have the recover and restore capabilities for that. So these are the main things that we need to achieve. And there are at least these are the 10 popular steps to achieve this cybersecurity, which is in terms of you take care of the asset management, data management. Asset management here means mainly your IT and OT assets. It need not be your complete plant physical asset, but all the IT systems and operational technology, electronic systems that you use, including the network, data, servers, all those items, and secure configurations, and obviously accounts and access control management. So access control to all the key parts of the solution, right from the field devices up to the application data, and even the physical access controls. And vulnerability management, log management. I mean, once there are any the vulnerabilities you have to identify, and also you need to have audit mechanisms about the access to the system, and complete audit trails when incidents happen. Right? So defense for malware, maybe the antivirus or all the measures that you need to have, and methods for data recovery, security training, and incident response. So these are the at least 10 functional steps that we need to incorporate at the organization level in order to address the cybersecurity. We'll see some of the vulnerabilities and attacks that may affect the industrial automation and control systems. See, one of the first things when it comes to RE assets is the rate of growth. So the RE penetration, it is rapidly increasing. It is the installation, and these plants are expanding at a greater pace, and the technology is also evolving with all your operational systems in the ground, and also the information technology systems getting a convergence of OT and IT is happening with many types of devices and other things coming into the picture, and making the secure access and secure operations quite complex. So, and a few decades back, all the operational systems were confined to a control room. They were not on internet. But now everything is on internet, including almost like a sensors or even metering devices that have a network port now. So anything that comes onto the network is vulnerable for an attack, okay, unless properly configured and properly managed. And lot of electronics is coming onto the into the grid systems, On one end, they interface to the grid, like maybe a power line, like your smart meters or any of these devices. And on the other side, they are also connected to the some kind of a network, some kind of a device network for data exchange. So it is possible that if there is a compromise even at the device level, so the attacker gets an access to the end control, like he can perhaps shut down a plant or cause otherwise, critical operations may be affected. Right? And moreover, all these resources are distributed. Like if you have any of these solar plant, they are spread over hundreds of acres with control devices and sensors spread across thousands of acres. Right? But all these distributed resources, they are again managed centrally. So there is a central database, central data, central operations. The control happens to the centralized system. So all these things increase the complexity of the whole solution, and to make it secure at every part of the solution, right from the field level sensor level up to all the way up to the cloud. So it's quite complex, and there are more points for that are vulnerable. And if we talk about in terms of devices, what are most vulnerable in a kind of like a industrial automation or a control system, one of the main things is the operation technology devices, mainly the PLC, RTU, or the DCS, that is heart of the system. And these systems, these are nowadays increasingly on TCP/IP, and but the software security updates, the host side security on these kind of devices may be limited. So you may not be applying the software or security patches on time, and you may be running the software that has been developed maybe 10 years back and without any updates. Okay? And even the hardware configurations can be configured, or as the plant configurations change. If you don't manage your hardware configurations properly, so again, the malfunctions can happen through those areas. And other part is after these PLCs, RTUs, the engineering workstation, most predominantly that will have some kind of a HMI or a software and data, operational data, as well as it is on the internet with running like emails or your word processing, MS Office, or all kinds of things. If it is used for all these purposes, so it's highly likely that the attack comes through these engineering workstations. And in fact, 35% of the attacks that happen in these control systems centers happen through the engineering workstation that is used to monitor the system. Even the storage devices, like network attached storage, these things could be the target for the attackers. And surprisingly, even the IP cameras and printers, which we think are basically very limited functional devices, but these things are also found to be a major cause of compromises, security compromises in these control system setups. Because they are also on the net, they are all connected through the network, but in general, they have less resources to deal with the security aspects. Yeah. And how, what kind of attacks happen on these control systems, if you see, generally the attacker goes through that discovery process to just find out the weaknesses in the system, and then he sets up a strategy to attack where he tries to exploit those vulnerabilities, and then finally he intrudes into the system, and which may cause either the loss of data or even malfunctioning or control being uh, going into the wrong hands. Right? So some of these examples are like the OPC DCOM attacks. So it is quite popular interfaces in these control systems are to exchange data through OPC DA and some of these interfaces which are based on DCOM. So in fact, Microsoft itself is going away from the DCOM, but these interfaces and these protocols remain in the control system. So these things cause backdoor vulnerabilities where an attacker can get access to the system and exploit the system. Right? And or a man-in-the-middle attack. This generally happens through a field engineer or the operational engineer who is a trusted person coming with a laptop and logging into the control network and trying to access those things. But at the same time, is a Trojan may be existing on this laptop, and the attacker can get access to the system and the data. Okay. So I'll just take a few more minutes. The important thing being how to address these attacks. So these are the common steps where we have to identify and minimize and secure all the network connections. First of all, the network connections need to be secured through firewalls or whatever. And harden the control systems, the local servers or the remote servers or all the IT systems, you need to harden. Say, for example, we use hardened Linux and remove all the unnecessary ports, disable all the unnecessary ports, disable all the unnecessary services so that your it will be robust. And also continually monitor the asset, continually monitor the data and the networks and the interconnections. And then a risk-based defense in-depth approach. I will slightly explain it in the next slide. Take those approaches and more importantly, manage the process and the people. So make them aware of all the security risks and make sure that they follow all the standard practices. And in case there is a breach, make them accountable. So these are the risk management, like identifying the threats, characterizing them, and then protecting against those things. And through a appropriate cybersecurity architecture, which actually complies with all the international standards and procedures, and have all the processes and policies in place, educate the entire organization on how to use those systems. And physical security, of course, this is like access controls, and then perimeter security, host level the security, which includes proper patch management of the operating system as well as all the softwares, and even proper patch management for all your like maybe the network switches, routers. So all the just yeah, okay, right, yeah, yeah, just one. Yeah. So these are some of the specific methods we can employ to take care of, to make the OT system, PLC, RTUs, and other systems strong enough to counter any attack. Okay. And this is the popular IEC 62443 standards, which specifies the policies and procedures to be used at the asset owners, maintenance and O&M service providers, as well as the integration service providers. And more importantly, these requirements driving the product suppliers to comply with all those standards in all their products, be it like RTU PLCs or components or chips, or even a combination, the hosted devices. And these are the 5 security levels for the specified by 62443. Level 0 being no security, all the way level 4, it is protection against the most sophisticated attacks that you can imagine. So we need to make sure, evolve in the security levels, maybe start at least at the security level 3 and go up to the 4. And so these are the CS Neo Silica, some of the products and solutions. So we provide Neo SCADA, that is the field level SCADA system for RE plants. And Neos APM is the cloud-based asset performance monitoring system. So these things are built right from ground up with the cybersecurity integrated at every stage, right from the field IoT up to the cloud. And this is the main architecture that we use, the full stack security, where we take care of the end-to-end cybersecurity, right from the user access is integrated with the identity and access management, and all the sessions are encrypted. Then we have the enterprise server that is at the local plant as well as in the cloud. That is mainly we use it Linux-based system with hardened Linux. And then the network is entire network. We put it into zones and we employ DMZ to separate the OT and IT networks. And the IoT gateway or what is used for data acquisition, that itself is again Linux-based and hardened Linux. And it is the data exchanges from the gateways, field devices to the cloud, they are all encrypted. And then finally, even the local server, it is again Linux-based and hardened Linux system. So at every stage, we employ this cybersecurity to make the system robust. And this is just a snapshot of our solutions where we provide that complete control systems for renewable energy plants and also even water distribution systems, pumping stations. So this platform is used in various verticals to provide the complete secure communications monitoring and performance monitoring. Okay. Thank you. We are in Hall 11, 235 booth. We are also having more information. I encourage you to have for any more information or anything, you can definitely meet and continue. Right. Thank you.